What it is, it's your guy Ness back again with another video, and today we discuss finding one rare piece for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Yeah, I'm wearing a Zelda shirt and I thought it was fitting. Now, I've been sitting on this footage roughly about 3 months, and for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you know that I picked up a sealed copy of Zelda II, The Adventures of Link on the original Nintendo. Now, it's very rare of me to find sealed games on the NES in itself, but to find a first print Zelda game at a local retro store, it's just one of those things that right place, right time, and I just happened to be at the store in the area, and I stopped in to say hey to my buddy Curtis at CGX. And if you have not been to CGX here in the Dallas metro area, it is located in Denton and the Golden Triangle Mall. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, if you're in the local Dallas area or if you're in town visiting, wanting to do some game hunting, I'll drop the address down below if you're interested in stopping in and checking the store. So today we're doing a little bit of game hunting, and then we're gonna go take a look in the store and talk about how this game came about. Check it out.
About a week ago. Really nice. Wow. That's awesome. Wow. You don't ever see that. You don't ever see a sealed Zelda II NES first print. You don't ever see that. We're at CGX right now, and we're gonna take a look at potentially adding this to the collection, so stay tuned.
So yes, it has been a while. So I bought this game back in January of 2025, and I sent it off to CGC like 2 or 3 days later. This is one of those select few games that, even if you're not a person who's into grading games, you coming across a Grail game like Zelda that's sealed and it's a first print, many of us out there are either one, going to just leave it raw, meaning it's going to stay sealed, they're not going to open it up. Select few of you may, just because you're savages like that. Or you may just decide that, hey, yeah, I'm going to send it in, BGA, WADA, whoever that you like sending your games in to get graded. And this is one of those games that I said, the way I am, I can be very clumsy at times. So it's better that I go ahead and get this game graded. All right, so we finally got the package back from CGC. Roughly 30, I'm sorry, not 30, but 3 months that it took us. So we're gonna go ahead and get this chopped up. All right, with this. So we had Zelda, of course. And then, let's see here. Okay, so I see Black Myth Wukong first up. All right. So we have a 9.9 A++ for Black Myth Wukong. I love this game. I know it's modern, all that good stuff, but yeah. So yeah, I was expecting that. About 9.9. Still don't have a 10 yet, but looks pretty good. So we have that. All right, so we have Zelda. Trying not to look. And we have a 9.4. Okay. 9.4. So that's good. And it is, oh my gosh, an A+. We got a 9.4 A+ on Zelda II Adventures of Link, and this looks amazing. So shout out to CGX for the game, and then shout out to CGC for getting this graded. This one was my most anticipated game by far. I mean, I've sent out quite a few games before. As you can see, it still has the hang tab on the top. Still has that. So it's it only had a small like box indentation right here on the corner. Probably somebody was just grabbing a hold of it like this and probably just squeezed it a little too tight. But other than that, there was no tears in the box or in the cellophane, and the edges of the corners were in really crispy shape. So I did have CGC do a light cleaning on this, and it came out really good. Like really good. So really happy about this 9.4 A+ here. Now I wasn't expecting, I actually expected something lower. Maybe that was just to keep my expectations low. I knew that this was probably going to be somewhere around the A column, maybe an A+ if I was lucky, and it definitely was. So I am super pumped to have this in the collection. My top ranked graded game in my entire collection. Like, I have Neo Geo CD games, which that's for a particular fan base, the Neo Geo folks. But this right here is very universal. Zelda, everyone knows Zelda. Very close in par with Mario, goes hand in hand. This is definitely one of those flagship games that's definitely going to be extremely nice piece to show fellow gamers that come into the game room and say, hey, you know, what games do you have? And they say, is that a sealed Zelda? Wow, how did you get this? Well, the story behind this is actually pretty crazy. So the store owner, SCGX, had a guy come in, you know, he had a couple of games that he bought from a local garage sale up north, north meaning in the northern portion of the United States. So this person was cleaning out, you know, a family member's home, and the next door neighbor of that family member was having a garage sale. That garage sale just so happened to have some video games. So when the gentleman decided to ask around and see what they had, they had some old NES games, and Zelda 2 Sealed just so happened to be one of them. Now, those family members that were selling that sealed Zelda didn't have a lot of details besides the fact that, you know, they were cleaning out the attic of that family member. It had just got lost in the track of time. Folks just forgot about it. I don't know how you do that with video games, but there is a lot more stories out there where people are finding, you know, family members had this stuff locked away, hidden away, and they just forgot about it. So it happens. It does happen, and I just so happen to be, you know, lucky enough to share a piece of that history of, you know, this game was preserved in someone's home. I hope to enjoy this for the time being, and for those of you out there that have similar stories, drop comments down below. Let me know, you know, what's going on. What are you finding out there in the wild? Is this becoming more of a rare occasion where we see these rare games hitting local stores? Someone says, hey, I found it at a garage sale, estate sale. Someone was just giving away this old box of games that a relative had, a brother, sister, uncle, dad, mom, whoever, and they don't care for video games and they just rather get rid of it for a couple of bucks and they're on about their day. It happens. It's Zelda. It's a first print Zelda at that, because you've got the seal. So you've got the circle seal, and then the second print came with a oval white seal. So that's generally what you would see. Nintendo was very big about doing that for different variants. Mario Bros. 1 has numerous amounts of variants. Of course, you have Super Mario Bros. 3, the Left Bros version being the first print, and then they did a Right Bros. There's the classics, there's the Nintendo Classic Editions, and etc. So there's tons of different variants across a lot of different games on Nintendo, and some didn't have variants, you know, just as the later life cycle of the Nintendo progressed. I actually have played Zelda 2 before, came really close to beating it as a kid, never really finished it. It was very time consuming, and I never gone back to really complete the game, but I got really close with the maps and all that. So is it worth the play? For sure. If you like Zelda, you love Zelda games, and you just want to play them, I always say, if you haven't played some of the original games for any genre out there that's really awesome, give it a try. See where the foundation, where the bones of the game actually started, the true foundation, and see where we're at, where we came from in the beginning in the early to late 80s to where we are now in the mid 2000s is pretty significant in terms of how technology has advanced and how games have moved the needle forward in terms of visuals, storylines, and gameplay. Zelda is a huge game, and it is loved by many. I'm a huge fan of Link to the Past, of course, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. Those are awesome Zelda games, but having a classic piece of history like this on the Nintendo Entertainment System is definitely one that you don't see on the normal day-to-day. So, how many of you have played Zelda 2? By many accords, this is probably the harder of the bunch on the NES. The original Zelda was a little bit simpler, but a lot of folks tend to say that Zelda 2 is a little bit harder to play. So, is this your one game that you like to play out of the Zelda bunch when you go old school, when you decide to go retro, or do you decide to go more in the modern terms? Maybe Link to the Past is more your speed, or maybe playing Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, and keeping it on the Switch. But drop comments down below and let me know, and as always, collect and play the way you want to collect and play your games, and I will check you next time. Peace.